मैं वेदों को साक्षी मानकर इस ज्ञान सभा में विभिन्न जनपदों से आए स्नातकों से प्रश्न।
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Sir, shall we begin?
Yes. Yes.
Very warm welcome to all of the people presented here on behalf of HSNC University. We really are sincerely very happy to see all of you here. I welcome Shalini ma'am, also the Vice Principal of college. Welcome you here, ma'am. Even some of the faculty members from HR college has joined here. We welcome you warmly to the session. Okay, and the short video clip has already set the mood for this talk, and we are all eager to hear about him. But before we begin, let me first introduce Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, sir. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai is rated as India's #1 best-selling business author. He has, to his credit, more than 17 best-selling books, and some of his best-selling books are Corporate Chanakya, Chatur Chanakya, Art of Winning, Art of Getting Rich, Chanakya in Classroom, Chanakya in Daily Life, and many more such best-selling books. Okay. He is the founder and director of Chanakya Institute of Public Leadership, TIPL, at University of Mumbai. It offers various programs in leadership science. He's given more than 1,000 lectures, guest lectures up till now, in popular institutions like National Defense College, IIMs, IITs, RBI, NSC, and many more. He has been a leadership coach and strategy advisor to over 500 organizations, governmental, non-governmental organizations, to name a few: Tatas, Birlas, Army, Navy, Air Force, Police Department, etc. He's been conferred many national and international awards. To name a few, probably would be Avishkar Research Award, Lokmat Award for Best Teacher of Philosophy, Sardar Patel International Award for Contribution to Industrial Development. He's among the top 50 management thinkers from India. He is on a mission to bring back the ancient Indian wisdom in a modern format. We warmly welcome you here, sir. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and to enlighten our students with your rich life experiences. We welcome some of the KC College faculty members also here on the day 5 of induction program. Basically, induction program is aimed at familiarizing students with academic co-curricular aspects, as well as we ensure that we have speakers or eminent personalities who will orient the students in such a way with their rich experiences so that confidence is built up, their overall personality develops. So I really very grateful to have you, sir, here. The stage is yours. The space is yours, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Am I audible? So first of all,
Yes.
Good morning or good afternoon to each one of you present over here. As all of you know, it's your induction program day 5, and I would like to congratulate the whole team of HSNC University. And I know it's going to a transition phase. The first transition is post-COVID, and the second transition is becoming a university. Initially, we are part of Mumbai University for so many years. It's a 160-year-old university. But now we have to do our own work. And I'm sure the administration team, the teachers, parents, and even the students are going through a change. So don't worry. The Chanakya Niti will help you to manage all the change positively. Okay, so in this induction program, I don't want to give a lecture. I can come back later on to do a full-fledged program. I'm a teacher. I know I'm a director of an institution myself. It's equivalent to being a principal of a college. So, I understand all the responsibilities. So first of all, I'd like to thank Hema ma'am for inviting me, Dr. Shalini ma'am, Dr. Pooja ma'am, and all the other faculties, students, and I also know some parents are listening. So my respect to all of you present over here. As I told you, I don't want to give a lecture. First of all, my apologies. I had to be here by 12 o'clock, and I requested that why don't you play the video so that we don't lose the time. The context is already set with the video, and I just want to give you 3 points. That's all. Because induction program, so many great people will come and speak to you. I don't want to burden you with more knowledge, but I just want to give you 3 words and 3 lessons for today, and this is directly connected to the video. And these are not 3 lessons, 3 sentences. They are only 3 words, so easy to remember. I'm a good teacher. Okay, I like my students to remember everything, but if you give them a lot of difficult things to by heart, you can't. So I'm going to give you very simple things, and you can remember this for life. And this will help you not only in the exams of the college, but this will help you in the exams for life. In my introduction, there was one book I would suggest all of you to read later on. It's called Chanakya in the Classroom. Okay, it's very easily available on Amazon. How to be a good student. I hope all of you want to be a good student and successful in life. So this is the book for all of you. A lot of books have been written. There are 21 books have written. The number 17 has gone up to 21 now. But doesn't matter. This is one book I recommend all the students who are still studying should read. Chanakya in the Classroom. Remember that. And after my session, you can also go on YouTube. There are a lot of videos of mine. So I don't want to take much time and only give you these 3 lessons. So the first lesson in life, if you want to be successful, is abhayam. Abhayam means being fearless. So you saw in that video, there were 2 kinds of students. One, when the Raja started shouting, okay, suddenly he got frightened and then he went away. But the second student stood his ground, right? And that student answered all the questions, including saying that the Raja can be a robber also. I'm not telling that all the Rajas or all the leaders are robbers, but the reality is that many people in power misuse the power. Just to tell you a corporate example, there is a Deloitte report. You must have heard about Deloitte. It's a consulting company, very big consulting company globally. And the report says that 96% of the fraud that happens in any organization, 96%, not a small number, is done by senior management. So think about it. It's not only politics. Anybody in power can misuse the power, and you see that in every field. But don't worry. If you are a good student, you have to fight against the wrong and the evils in the society. So the first thing is knowledge. So you see the student had an answer to all the questions. Unfortunately, our education system is only about by hearting. So you will learn and then you will present. I'm sure all of you got extremely good marks. Nowadays, 90 is a very normal number. How much did you get? 96. How much did you get? 94. Very common answers. But I'll start with a joke. There was a boy who was dancing after the board exam results came. And girl was crying. Same class. So some outsider came and said, "Why are you crying?" They asked the girl. And she said, "I only got 99%. I only got 99%. So I'm crying. I lost that 1%. Okay, understandable. They went to the boy. "Why are you dancing? You got very good marks." "Yes, I got 35 marks. So I passed." The same situation, somebody can be happy, somebody can be unhappy. Of course, you have to measure in marks, in credits, in various other formalities in the education system. But remember one thing, marks may not make you successful in life. They can make you successful and go to the next level of education. And maybe it can give you a first job. But in life, what is the most important thing is being fearless. Now here I want to also correct all of you that fearless doesn't mean arrogance. Please understand this, fearless does not mean arrogance. I've seen a lot of students who are fearless, but they give ulta, वो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, उल्टा बोलते हैं. और वो बोलते हैं हम तो जो भी बोलते हैं सच बोलते हैं. No, that is not a quality of fearlessness. So in the Ramayana, there's a beautiful quality of leadership. And I want all of you to think like leaders and say that leader should always speak satyam. Always speak the truth, because without truth, you cannot be fearless. And if you are fearless, you'll speak the truth. But he says, along with satyam, you should also be priyam, pleasing. Okay, so develop this quality of being fearless, but don't become arrogant. I've been to some universities where students don't study and they tell the teacher how to teach. I said, I don't want to come here and teach. Remember one thing, without humility, you'll never be a good student. It's an induction program. You've got so many years to go in life. Not only your course, 2 year, 3 year, whatever you're attending. But remember one thing, you have to be confident, you have to be fearless, but not arrogant. And imagine now there is a system of feedback mechanism. You can rate your teachers. Now teachers will be afraid of you. But don't worry about all that. But remember, the teacher has got the knowledge. That's very important. So learn the knowledge, be fearless, and then give the constructive feedback. Okay, so in all the lectures that you're going to attend from now onwards, keep your notes. I can't still see half of your faces. What half of your faces? I can't see any of your faces except for Pooja ma'am. So I don't even know whether you are seriously attending the class or not. See, I'm telling you fearlessly. Okay, I got one student opening and saying that, listen, I'm attending. And so remember one thing, no teacher likes to talk to a computer. Okay, thank you. Now I can see a few more students. Very good students, lifelong. And I'm in my class. No attendance is given if the camera is not on. Okay, so parents are listening. My request to all of you is that, please make sure that the students are ready for the class, even if it is online, act as if it is a physical class. And I'll tell you a secret of my success in pandemic. See, I'm in actually my office right now. So during pandemic, I used to work from home like most of you, right? But every morning I got up at 6 o'clock. I used to dress up as if I'm going to office, even if I'm taking an online class. So, never make the habit of being lazy. If you decide to get up at 6 o'clock, even if it's going to be online, you have to get up at 6 o'clock, get ready and be ready as if it's a normal day. Otherwise, a lot of students don't want to come for physical class. They say online acha hai. Then we understand actually it's not online acha hai. It is laziness of getting up from the bed and coming to the classroom. It is not only students, office people also do that. They say, I don't want to go to office. Why? Online hai na. Online se kuch nahi hota. So here is my second lesson. First is abhayam, but also be priyam. The second important thing is vriddha sanyogaha. It's a combination of two words, but remember, I'll explain it to you. Write it down. Okay. First is abhayam. Be fearless with knowledge. Knowledge makes you fearless. The second one is vriddha sanyogaha. Vriddha means elders, seniors. Sanyoga means being in touch. So my request over the next induction program, next few years, be in touch with experts and elders. It could be a senior students, it could be a teachers, it could be those students in your class who are academically brilliant than you. A lot of people ask me, sir, मेरे को अच्छे marks नहीं मिलते. तो बोलते तुम्हारे क्लास में first ranker कौन है? Second ranker कौन है? Who are the first 10 toppers? So yeah, go and make friends with them. They will teach you the formula. And if you are among the first to 10, please teach your success formula to others. A lot of people who get first marks, first rankers, they don't want to share the secret of their success. Not good. You may succeed once, but you will create more enemies later. So it's always better that you make a lot of friends. Okay. So the way to gather knowledge is not only attending lectures or giving exams. There are many ways of gathering knowledge. And the one which I am very, very, particularly using for gathering knowledge is reading books. I read a lot of books. But I always say that person who's written the book may be dead and gone. But the reality is that his knowledge is still there in that book. So I hope you will spend a lot of time in your college library. Unfortunately, after the internet revolution and all the soft copies of book available, people are not visiting libraries. And I feel very bad for my librarian friends. So in your college, there is a beautiful library. I know there are thousands and thousands of books. I became an author because from my college days, I used to read a lot of books. Okay, so be it reading books, spending time with your senior students, alumni. I'm sure there'll be alumni meets also happening. Please request all the teachers, I want to go and meet my seniors. Imagine after your course, you want to go for a job. The alumni will help you. If you have any problem, they will help you. Okay, and you may get some first job internship with those alumni also. So books, teachers, senior students, alumni, and of course, don't forget the elders in your house. Okay, that's the first thing. When you go back home, please spend time on your mobile, but don't spend time only on your mobile or laptop. There is a Dadima, there is a Nanima, there is a Dadaji, Nanaji. If you're lucky, if you're fortunate, they're still around. Believe me, after a few years, physically, they may not be around. But unfortunately, we don't spend time with them. So I have one request to all the students over here and all the parents again who are listening. Before you leave home, please touch the feet of the eldest person in your family. Okay, so Dadima, Dadaji, Papa, Mummy, that's Indian culture. Okay. And it's not symbolic. It's chalo yaar, namaskar karke nikal jate hain. So I'll tell you the symbolism. When you touch the feet of elders, the blessings come to you. And in the Mahabharata, there is a beautiful discussion. So Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, who was the leader, the king, is asking Bhishmacharya, another Vriddha, his Pitamaha, saying that, I have seen two things in my life. The one who are not successful and become successful. And then there are those people who are successful and they actually fall down and become unsuccessful. So you say, tell me why is it happen that successful people also become unsuccessful? I'm sure all of you must have heard about it. And Bhishmacharya clearly says, if you are successful and you become arrogant and you don't take the blessings of your elders, you will fall down. So remember, I told you, be confident, be fearless with all the knowledge, but don't be arrogant at success. Be humble at success. But immediately keep association with elders. It will keep you humble. Okay, so Vriddha Sanyoga forever. See, these are not lessons only for 2-3 years. These are lessons for life. So whenever I get an opportunity to meet any experienced person, I say, please, if you're not calling me, I will come to you. Okay, so second lesson is Vriddha Sanyoga. And third and the final lesson is Mitra Sambandha. Remember this word Mitra and Sambandha. It's very easy to remember. I'm sure all of you must be watching the web series called as Friends. Do you watch or no? If you don't watch, please watch it. I know it's an American context, it's a Western context, but remember, you require friends forever. Like, it's not only in schools or colleges you require friends in professional lives. You require friends throughout your life. And you will be surprised, your Dadaji, Dadi, Ma, who are still there, they also like to meet their friends, right? So there are alumni meet. I recently came to know that there was a school which actually had an alumni meet of the same batch. And all of them were above 65 years old. I also know of a group that got together when everybody was above 70 years old. So remember, friends are not only for schools and colleges. Friends are forever. And we had a recent friendship day. And yesterday was a Raksha Bandhan day, right? So don't make it symbolic. Achha, maine friendship band bandh diya. See, Americans and the Westerners don't understand about friendship. I remember when we were in the early stage of getting into internet, Facebook was very popular. And they had limited the number of friends to only 5,000, right? In Facebook, you can't have more than 5,000 friends. And that your generation doesn't like it. So we like Instagram more because you have more followers. So Facebook is our generation. And we said only 5,000 friends. In India, we can have 50,000 friends. So I have a small, tip for all of you. Be friendly with everyone, but choose your friends carefully. So if you have 5,000 or 10,000 friends, the whole college and the university will be full of people. Don't fight with anybody. Yeah, you can get into debate and discussions. There will be a lot of elocution competition, debate discussions. Get into that. But don't fight. Okay, I will teach you how to actually argue with people. We don't know the way of arguing to win the argument. Okay, that's a debate discussion. I'll talk about it later. But be friendly with everyone. But remember that you have to choose your friends carefully. Because friends can make you or break you. And I just want to tell you, please never fall into any vices. All teachers and parents are very afraid. Because the vices community, the drugs, the alcohol, the smokers, they all want to target the young generation. And they will approach you directly or indirectly. No. Remember, it's only the first time that you will shiver. But if you accept it, you are gone forever. But if you say no, believe me, it becomes a lifelong thing. So it's a concern as a teacher. I want to tell you that, have good friends and make them your best friends for life. And I just want to stop here by telling you that friendship is not one way. It is two way. अरे उसने मेरे से बात नहीं किया, अरे छोड़ ना, तूने तो बात नहीं किया ना. So friendship should not be only one-way communication, it should be two-way and forever. In Marathi, since most of you are from Mumbai, there's a famous saying, Kama Purta Mama, which means when I have some work, I go to my friend. I'll make you my mama. And say, Acha, ab bahut achhe ho. But that person is not stupid. They also understand. Acha, kaam hai tab aata hai. Kaam nahi hai to nahi aata. Such people are not good friends. You should always help your friend in good times and bad times. You know, there's a lot of relationship problems your generation are facing. The reason for that is that the relationship cannot be maintained by only looking at what is my benefit. Relationships are always maintained when there is mutual benefit. But before mutual benefit, there should be mutual respect for each other. So please respect, because in your class, there will be different types of people. Boys, girls, somebody from rich families, somebody from ordinary families, somebody who is got, different color of skin. Some may look beautiful, some may not look so beautiful. So all the differences will be there. But friendship is never external. Friendship is always internal. So remember, you be a good friend and maintain the friendship forever. Like Krishna and Sudama. Remember, they were friends in the same institution. Their guru was Sandipani. Krishna became a king of Dwarka. And Sudama, his classmate, became very poor. But his wife told him, Jao, apne dost se baat karke aao. So when he went to meet Krishna, he did not have anything to give as a gift also. I hope you will give a lot of gifts to your friends. Whatever is affordable, okay? Even a 2 rupee pen can be a good gift. Agar wo dil se dete hai to. Don't worry, I don't have money. He's a rich guy, I'm an ordinary guy. Doesn't matter. It is the bhavana, the emotion. So what did Sudama carry to Krishna? He was very poor, did not have food to eat. His wife gave him some rice. जो आजकल पोहा बोलते हैं ना, beaten rice. And he did not, he was so poor that उसमें से पत्थर भी निकाला नहीं था. But the moment Krishna got it, he took it, he ate it. And his wife Lakshmi, imagine, Krishna's wife, or Vishnu avatar, no, Krishna is Lakshmi. He said, what are you doing? If you eat everything, you'll have to give. Because a relation is always give and take. Like, yes, I'm ready to give everything to my friend. When Sudama goes back, he finds that his whole house is transformed into a palace. A poor man who did not have food to eat becomes very rich guy because of his friend. So when you become successful in your life, don't forget your friends who are unsuccessful. So remember, my dear friends, in life, there'll be a lot of challenges, but it is friends who actually help you to overcome these challenges. So I just want to say there are a lot of things about Chanakya. I'll speak some other time, but my 3 takeaways, I hope it's easy to remember. If not, write it down again. The first one is be abhayam, be fearless, but without arrogance. Second, vriddha sanyogaha. Try to spend maximum time with elders that you come across, knowledgeable and experienced and wise people. At home, in school, colleges, wherever you go. And the third, mitra sambandhaha. Be friendly to everyone, but choose your friends carefully. With that, I want to stop, and there's a request that I should take up questions. So remaining 25 minutes that I have, I can open for Q&A. So over to you, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for yet simple yet profound insights. We'll take up questions now. The tech team can help me with picking up questions on YouTube. And the students who joined here can put their questions in the chat box.
Okay, till the students are thinking what to ask, let me ask you the first question and request all of you to actually type this in the chat box. Okay, so this question is, what was your learning in this 15 minutes talk that I gave? You can put it into one word or sentence. Don't try to explain. What was your biggest learning today from my session? Please type it in the chat box. And if you have the question ready also, you can type. And your attendance will be marked on the response that you give on the chat box. Strategy, how to make sure that you are participating. So please type, what was your biggest learning? It can be one word or one sentence, but don't type more than that. Nobody reads. If you want to type also, that freedom is given. Okay. Okay. So we have the answers coming in. Jagruti says to be fearless but not arrogant. Yeah, the first one. Vasunda, ma'am, going to write, Pooja, ma'am, Dr. Pooja, you want to read it out?
Sir, the comments are the questions. What do you want me to read?
I think both. Till the questions come in, you can take the.
One or two questions have come. Shall I take it? Or?
Yes, yes, yes.
Keshav is asking, sir, what is the difference between first principles thinking and anvikshiki? I think it's related to your books, sir. Would you like to answer that?
Yeah. So thank you so much. I didn't want to talk about that word today, but since you asked the question, for those people who have not heard it, Chanakya always taught his students the first subject, how to think, and that is called anvikshiki. क्या बोला आपने? I'll repeat it. Anvikshiki. Unfortunately, we have lost this subject in our lifetime. You know, this was the first subject that Chanakya wanted everybody to learn, how to think. Our problem is that we only know how to memorize. So what is the difference? Anvikshiki is a strategic thinking process developed by Chanakya. Okay, so if you study Anvikshiki, you don't have to worry about anything in life. You'll be a good student, you'll be a good professional, you'll be a good human being also. A lot of people actually are memorizing, not thinking. In fact, I'll tell you, I'm reading a book and I'll show you the cover page of the book. I hope at the end of this, you'll get interested in reading books. Okay, so the name of this book is called Mindset. You saw the book? It's very easily available on Amazon. Okay, so this book talks about students should not be learners. Okay, they should be accepting more challenges. And in challenges, there'll be a lot of learnings. I want to repeat this. How to develop a learning mindset? By accepting challenges. मुझको नहीं जाना है college, घर पे बैठना है. That means you don't want to take the challenge of getting up, taking a bath, getting ready, and going in the train or bus. But if you say, no, I will do it. Now, nowadays, there is Commonwealth Games going on. If you study all the winners, the gold medalists, the silver medalists, the bronze medalists, all of them believe that I can do it. So, Anvikshiki tells you how to take up a challenge and also win the challenge. So, remember one thing, it is not about just participating. It's also about winning. And I remember Shah Rukh Khan once telling something nice. I was in a meeting, he said, I never believe in silver medal. I believe in gold medal. So why? Well, his grandfather told him, it seems. There's one thing I like about him. He quotes his father and grandfather a lot. Vriddha Sanyoga. So he said his grandfather had told him that you never win a silver medal, you actually lose a gold medal. So think about it. So when you play the game, try to be number one, not number two. But if you get number two, accept it. Because somebody can be better than you. But learn from that guy how he's better than you. Why did he get number one? So this kind of strategic thinking. In fact, since you asked this question, there are two books I would recommend because time is limited, which I've written on this subject. One is called Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. Check in a library or you can order it on Amazon. All of them very easily affordable. 300 rupees ka book hai. 3 or 350 rupees. So next time, whenever you go to buy something, gift yourself a book. So Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. There's another book also. It's called The Art of Winning the Chanakya Way. The Art of Winning the Chanakya Way. I'm sure all of you want to be winners. Okay. So these two books. And I just want to share something that happened yesterday. I got a call and one of the students so she was a girl, she tied a rakhi to her brother. So bhai ne pucha ki kya chahiye gift? And I said, mujhe Chanakya ka book chahiye. And this boy is a student of mine, he called me and said, my sister is reading your books. Now don't worry, I'm not only telling you to read my books, but I'm telling you to read every book that is possible. Like this book is not my book, it's not written by me. It's a book on psychology, how to be a winner in life. But since you asked the question about Anvikshiki and winning, Anvikshiki is a strategic method of winning anything that you participate in. Sports, academics, politics, business, whichever field you take up. Okay, so study Anvikshiki. Maybe I'll come back again for a longer session of how to use Anvikshiki for strategic thinking. Yeah, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I think for clearly explaining to our students in their own language. I'll take one more question. Chandra Shekhar has asked, I have read Chanakya Niti, but I felt that it's too hard to follow in this generation. Can you please reply on that, sir?
I agree to some extent. Okay, because if you look at it, Chanakya Niti was written 2,400 years ago. And that time there was no mobile, there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube. I know we want examples connecting to our generation. But let me also tell you that, a lot of things have changed, but the principles don't change. Like, for example, be it 5,000 years ago or today, the sun will always rise from the east. They're natural principles. So if you take a jump from first floor or 100th floor, you'll always come down. You can't say, I'm a modern generation. So अगर मैं first floor से jump करूंगा तो नीचे आऊंगा और 100th floor से jump करूंगा तो ऊपर जाऊंगा. No. So law of gravity doesn't change. So in Chanakya Niti, there are two parts. One called the principles, and the second is called the context. So a lot of contexts have changed over generation. I totally accept that. That's why you're not able to relate. But let me tell you, the principles in Chanakya Niti don't change. And I don't know which version of Chanakya Niti have you read. I would suggest you read my version. If you go on Amazon, say Radhakrishnan Pillai and Chanakya Niti. N-E-E-T-I, not N-I-T-I. Okay? I've explained it in a very, very simple way, which can be used in 2022, the technology generation as we call it. So yes, I understand the application may look outdated. It is not. Principles never get outdated. They're always the same. Like every generation wants to be healthy, right? Every generation wants to be successful. All parents on every generation want their children to be more successful than them. And for that, being healthy, what do you do? For being a good parent or a good student, what should you do? All those examples are given in Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti. So you can study that. Thank you for the wonderful question.
Sir, I think same student is saying that he is not able to understand one example. Can I read that?
Yeah, please.
So he's saying that Chanakya says that being in relationship is not for the people who are building the nation to Chandragupta. Can you help him understand this?
Yeah. See, remember one thing, India has got a very interesting culture. It's called family culture. If you look at all the mothers, fathers, grandparents, we are a part of a family. We are not an individual culture. Unfortunately, we are getting influenced too much by individualism. But if you look at it, all the mothers will spend their lifetime, including giving up their careers for their children, isn't it? So I'm sure if you go back home, most of your mothers also are graduates and educated. But why did they opt to not work? Because they believe bringing up a child is more important. Coming back to your question, see what happens is family is also a responsibility. It's a big responsibility, a full-time responsibility. Everybody cannot manage it. So what Chanakya is suggesting is that if you take up any relationship, marriage, parenting, anything, it's a big responsibility. A lot of people get married without understanding the responsibility part of it. And then there are breakage of relationships and marriages. In our parents' generation, responsibility was given first and relationship was given later. In today's generation, you always have a blame game in relationship. वो मेरा सुनता नहीं, ये सुनती नहीं, उसको समझ में नहीं आता है. अरे बाबा, relationship has to be very hard working. You have to work hard to make the relation successful. Now coming back to the question, see what happens. Suppose you get married to a person, okay, and that person is also individual. You are also individual. The relation will suffer. But you'll be surprised if somebody is already committed to a bigger purpose, like building a nation. It's better you don't take additional responsibility. That's why you'll find a lot of people at that level. Like for example, APJ Abdul Kalam. He opted not to marry. It is not that he never found girls. A lot of girls were behind him. Okay. Or if you want to get married, make sure your vision is common. I've been very fortunate that I have a wife who helps me in my purpose. Otherwise, ghar pe jhagda hoga. So my question is that, be it friends or relations, have a common purpose. And Chanakya is suggesting for a Raja during those days, your family is not limited to 3-4 people. Your family is the whole kingdom. Sara Rajya tumhara praja hai. Sara praja tumhare bacche hain. So Abdul Kalam is not a failure. He's asked the option or took the option of making the whole India his family. So if you want to build a nation, be very careful of two things. It's a full-time commitment. Another person, very famous, and if you are not watched, I would suggest to watch and read about him. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He was from Bombay. And there is a web series on him very recently in Sony Live. It's called Rocket Boys. I'm not talking about rocketry, the Madhavan one. It's before that. It's called Rocket Boys. Vikram Sarabhai. And then we have a few more other people in that also. Vikram Sarabhai is there, Dr. Homi Baba. Do you know, in that particular web series, you will find he never gets married. What is the reason? Because he says, I'm building a nation. I'm building the first, satellite nuclear weapons for the country. And the same, another character in that particular web series is Vikram Sarabhai. He was also building India's first space mission. His personal life was a little bit messed up. So what I'm saying is that whether you get married or no, remember, it's a commitment. So I better suggest you have a purpose in life. And, answering your question with marriages, because one day your parents will force you to get married. Unfortunately, Indian culture. So that time, remember this formula. I asked my guru about it and he gave me that answer. What do you believe in? Love marriage or arranged marriage? And he says, I believe in successful marriage. Love marriage is also failed. Arranged marriage also have failed. Love marriage is also successful, like my case. Okay, and arranged marriage also can be successful. But both the spouses have to be committed for a common purpose. So if your purpose is the nation, Chanakya told Chandragupta Maurya, your commitment first is to a nation. A nation is your family. And there will be a lot of hardships. So please discuss with your spouse that this is my purpose. मुझे भारत को 75 years में 100 year तक का journey में मेरे को contribute करना है. So don't forget, after 15th of August, Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, घर घर पे तिरंगा. I hope all of you are putting flags on that day. But after that, don't forget, your generation has to make India the #1 country in the world. So next 25 years, I will be alive. Don't worry, I'm not going to die so fast. We'll work together for building the nation. Okay? So I will come with my Chanakya wisdom. All of you become Chandragupta Mauryas or Chanakya and apply it. We will make India the #1 country in the world along with all the teachers over here. Okay? So it's a big commitment for the nation. Please discuss with your family also. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Prisha is asking, sir, how to be sure about a career field, our interest, that yes, this is the field I want to make my career in?
Beautiful question. Let me tell you, there was a research done. Average, every person will change 3 careers before he settles down in one career. It's a research, okay? So I'll tell you how it happens. First time when you go to any particular career, it's a trial and error. You're not sure. So after 1 year, say, ye mere liye nahi hai. Koi baat nahi. Second time, you do trial and error, but you are matured. Okay? There will be a lot of family pressure. Kya hai? Pehla job chhod diya, pehla line chhod diya, ye kya kar rahe ho? But you are not sure again. But third time, you settle with a career. And I can tell you my own example. In the first stage of my career, I took up 3 jobs and 3 different industries. I worked in the music industry. I used to work in the film industry. Okay, and I was very successful, but I was not sure. Ye filmy duniya mera nahi hai. Then I went on to jewelry industry. I used to work in the diamond factory. I was head of the whole production. Then I said, ye kya hai? Filmy duniya mera nahi hai. Music mera nahi hai. Of course, I play the flute. That's a different music. But all this, Bollywood is not my cup of tea. I changed my career. I went to diamond. Then I found this is also not my career. Then I went to cricket industry. Have you heard about Sachin Tendulkar? By the way, for those people who don't know, he was more famous in our generation before Virat Kohli. Okay, so he used to be part of my team. So we used to work with him. So very highly successful career, but I was not happy. Finally, Chanakya happened. I became an entrepreneur. Now I'm settled. So don't feel guilty. But remember one thing, if you don't want to go through this cycle of 3 times, find out what you like. And how do you know what you like? Ask an expert. Ask an expert. He will tell you what you're good at. So I'll give you an example of a childhood friend of mine. Okay. His name is Subhashish. We were in school together and also college together. So Subhashish ko hum puchte the, what do you want to do? Because all of us were confused. Like most of you are confused. But Subhashish was 100% clear. I will become an architect. How come you are so clear? So when I was in 3rd standard, my drawing teacher saw my drawing and called up my parents and to come and meet me. Parent teachers meeting. So the parents of Subhashish went to the school and do you know your child has got a talent for drawing. He should pursue that as a career. And remember, it is not a maths teacher telling that you are good in drawing. It's a drawing teacher telling you are good in drawing. And the parents took it very seriously. So when he was in college, he used to tell me, to architect hi banne wala hu, because I love drawing. And surprise, he never changed his career. Today, he's 47 years old. And he's got 300 architects working under him. And I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 retail malls, all the malls that you go to are designed by him. He's India's #1 architect in retail space. So remember one thing, sometimes people give you an input, but you don't take it seriously. अरे तुम अच्छे हो, ये कर लो. हम बोलते ठीक है, छोड़ दो. Then you keep going from one place to another. So in my case, I took 3 times to understand what I'm good at. Till my teacher told me, focus on one thing. Swami Vivekananda told this very nicely. We have a beautiful Swami Vivekananda picture and statue in Hemlata Ma'am's cabin. If you get an opportunity, you should have a photograph with her, okay, in that cabin. So Swami Vivekananda told this almost 150 years ago. Take up one idea and give your life to it. That's the way to success. Take up one idea and give your life to it. Unfortunately for me, it took a long time to decide that one idea is called Chanakya. But if you can have Vriddha Sanyoga, I've already given you tips. If you can actually have Vriddha Sanyoga, they will tell you what you're good at. And believe me, it works like magic. So if you change careers, don't feel guilty. But if you don't find a career, ask an expert. He will guide you and then give you a full commitment to it lifelong. Pooja.
Yes, that's so true. Actually, we also have career counselors in the college. I'm sure students would be interested. Ask them if they cannot find what they are good at. Sir, Neha is asking question. Sometimes students don't know how to study properly. They do a lot of hard work, but they are not doing it properly. Can you guide her in this regard?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, hard work is important, but smart work is more important. So what is the meaning of hard work? I sat for 10 hours. Okay, and I studied very hard. But there are students who only study for 2 hours and still they become successful. I'm sure you know the case, right? So hard work is essential, but we don't think. So coming back, I have written this in detail in my book, Chanakya in the Classroom. Do you have a timetable of your studies? You remember when you're in 10th standard, you made a timetable? Unfortunately, timetable is prepared by teachers, not by you. Teachers will make the timetable for finishing the curriculum or exams. But students have to prepare a timetable for studies. So that is called planning. So the formula is plan out your studies and then follow hard work. Without planning, if you do, you may say, मैं बहुत मेहनत किया. And I tell you, I know of many stories where students were very good once. And next time they actually became very bad in their studies. Correct? So they got maybe 90% in 10th standard, but in 11th and 12th, what happened? They get low percentage. I'm sure all of you know that. You know what is the reason? What succeeded, they don't continue. So they work very hard in the 10th standard because of the pressure, classes, parents, teachers. But once they go to 11th standard, they think, "Abhi kya karne ka?" Why hard work is important? This is a time to enjoy. And then it becomes a habit. So it's very important to plan your timetable of studies and strategy. So please work hard, but please work smartly also. Now I'll give you a small joke. Okay, what is called smart working? There was a big fat book, 800 pages. So there was a teacher and she had 3 students. Okay, so she asked them, "ये पूरा book पढ़ने के लिए how much time will you take?" The first student said, 800 pages, I can finish it off in 1 week. I said, wow, that's good speed. And they asked the second student, okay, and said, how much time will you take? So I just did a speed reading course. I can finish off all these things in 3 days. Wow, that's good, right? And the third student was actually an engineering student. So the teacher asked him, when will you finish this book? How much time? Okay, exam kab hai? So I can finish it off in 1 night also. Depends on when the exam. I'm sure a lot of students open their books only during exam times, right? So my question is that is not hard work. And the mummy, bechari mummy, wo khud soti nahi hai. She'll prepare coffee and food for you. And you think, mera beta raat ko 3 baje tak padhai karta hai. Beta padhai nahi karta hai. He doesn't know how to study. In fact, those people who are good students actually sleep on time. They don't get fatigued. Okay, so studying till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is not good because you will sleep during the exam time. So plan out your work and work out your plan. That's the answer. Everybody can be a good student. Believe me. I know in my class, everybody is above 70%. Everyone. Huh? So don't compare. Collaborate and work. I'm not saying copy and work. Okay, learn from the best students and you can be the best student also yourself. Yes, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you. Prisha is once more asking, there are multiple fields and multiple interests. So is the idea of multitasking right?
It all depends on your capacity. So don't just go by somebody else. Some people's nature are doing one thing. Some people's nature are multitasking. But even multitasking requires strategy. Like, most of the women are multitaskers. It's a natural gift to them. So they can actually teach, they can go to home, cook the food, listen to the children. So if you want to be a multitasker, there's a process. If you want to be one person, in fact, there's a movie of Amitabh Bachchan. It's called Bunty and Bubbly. I don't know if you heard about that movie. I would suggest you watch it. The first part, there's a second part also. In that first part, there is a beautiful dialogue. It says, इस दुनिया में, इस वर्ल्ड में 2 तरीके के लोग होते हैं. It's an opening dialogue in that movie. पहले जो एक जिंदगी में एक ही चीज करते हैं, पूरे जिंदगी में एक ही चीज करते हैं. So whole life they only do one thing. और दूसरे जो एक ही जिंदगी में सब कुछ कर देते हैं. Like I'm the second category. I've written books. I've done my PhD. I'm an academic person. I'm a business guy. I work with politicians. I work with projects. So my nature is multitasking. But my wife's nature is different. She's a unitasker. She wants to be only a mother. So she's a highly qualified lady. Okay, she's also doing a PhD. But she says, all this is okay. You take care of multitasking. I'll take care of one tasking, being a mother. She actually quit her corporate career to focus on one thing. And I really respect her for that. So remember one thing, it also depends on the stage of your life and the work of your life. If you get into professional careers, you have to multitask. And anything can come suddenly. Okay. So sometimes you're writing a mail, suddenly your boss calls you and saying, do this also. And Indians are good at it generally. And we never say no.
It's 1 o'clock.
We never say no. That's a problem with us also. So if you want to be a multitasker, attend a course or read books on multitasking. But don't stress yourself too much. You should also know when to tell no. But if you take up something, make it the best. That's my suggestion. So know your nature, know your speed, and do every work successfully. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there is one more question, but can we take it? It's 1 o'clock, sir.
So let's take this as the last question.
Okay. So Ketan is asking, when is your new podcast with Ranveer Allahabadia? Eagerly waiting for another podcast of you.
So I've been very fortunate. Ranveer made me very famous. First time I got a call from Ranveer's office. They say Ranveer wants to actually do an interview with you. I thought it is Deepika Padukone's husband. He's in news for some wrong reasons also. I never understood this. Who is Ranveer? Then they told me he's a YouTuber. I said, Acha. So if you look at it, he's very young to me. I went to his studio. He's got a beautiful studio. And since then, I've been mentoring him how to be a good YouTuber. So I got hundreds of videos already lined up with Ranveer. My request to you is that please put a request to Ranveer to interview me more. If you want new videos, all my videos are million kind of a views. And I want to tell you, if you want, I can do a small session for all of you in the college also. Why wait for Ranveer? So ask Ranveer when he's going to come. I'm always available. I always believe the most successful person is always available anytime you want. So Ranveer calls me, I can go today evening also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With your permission, is it okay if I propose vote of thanks, sir? So,
Yes,
it's time now, yes, to formally propose vote of thanks for this day 5 of induction program. On behalf of HSNC University at the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our guest speaker, Ms. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, sir, for being so candid, for being so lively, for wisely distributing the time for a very short talk and giving more time for students to interact with you, sir. We really appreciated the way you summarized ancient Indian wisdom in just 3 points. I think our students have a lot of reflection today. They can experiment with the tips that you have given. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, ma'am, Vice Chancellor of HSNC University and Principal of KC College, for constantly supporting and guiding in all our endeavors. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to our Vice Principals, Dr. Shalini Sinha, ma'am, Mr. Smarjit Padhi, sir, Dr. Tejashri Shanbhag, ma'am. We have with us Mr. Justin, also Director of Examination and Evaluation. Thank you so much for being there, guiding all of us at every step in executing these events that happen in college. Thank you so much, all of you. I would also like to thank faculty of HR College, the Dean of Humanity, Dean of Commerce, principals of HR and BTTC College for always being with us in all the events of HSNC University. We thank all the faculty members who are present here. Maybe I was not able to take your names, but thank you for being there. Heads of the department, faculty members, teachers for being there. Thank you for your warm presence here. Thanks to the non-teaching staff of HSNC University and schools too for making this event possible. A special thanks definitely goes to the tech team led by Monish today for a smooth conduction of the session. Above all, obviously, we wouldn't have been here without the audience. So parents, teachers, students of all the institution of HSNC University, thanks for being so lively, so interactive, so engaging. Thanks for turning on your videos when sir wanted you, and we wanted to see more videos, hopefully tomorrow. Thank you so much. Above all, I will definitely like to mention the Almighty for allowing us to be here. Thank you so much, all of you. We meet you all next session, which is tomorrow, 13th August, details of which will be shared with you on your WhatsApp groups. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Pillai sir, so much. We always look forward to your session, and thank you so much.
I also look forward to see all of you in person soon.
Yes, sir, in person soon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.